Hello, everybody, and welcome to the PHLY Eagles podcast. The second episode of the second day, and we are presented by Bet365 and Ace Hardware Home Services. Download the Bet365 app and use code PHLY365 when you sign up. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365, and visit AceHardwareHomeservices.com to get started on your next project. Welcome in, Zack Berman, Sheil Kapadia. At an empty chair, may or may not be for Jalen Hurts. We'll find out. Sheil, how you doing?
I'm doing well. You two were just yelling at each other right before. Right, very professional. You yell at each other, but then when the spotlight comes on and Julia says, mics are about to be hot, then you stop doing that. So that's a very professional job. I'm still not totally clear about the main focus of the argument. He ruined a surprise. You were mad about the surprise. We don't know what the surprise is. But to answer your question,
the listeners to know that we're not wearing pants.
Okay.
Oh, no, wait. So first off,
it's quite a view for me over here.
I just need to clarify. I was not yelling. Okay.
Argumentative. It was an argument.
No, I
wouldn't even call it an argument.
I was promoting
just a bafflement.
This is like when you're paired. I've done this with Jess. This is what you do with your wife when your kids catch you yelling at each other.
I just want to clarify. I was promoting the show. There was a surprise that I was not clued in on. Okay, so therefore I was supposed to know about a surprise that does not exist. But I will like all things, I will cede the floor to Bo.
Well, let's bring in the surprise now. Here we go. Welcome to the show.
Which surprise?
Marissa.
Whoa!
Look at that. Congratulations.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, I just remember that Marissa didn't have the mic on there.
Yes. How's it going, guys?
It's
I'm
so nice
happy
to
be
see
back
you.
with
My
everybody.
gosh, so nice to see you.
The sickos must be going wild.
You know, we got the great Diana Russini over here,
I know.
and I
I
feel
know,
like
I'm kind of
you
The
guys.
one
Struck,
time
to be
you're
honest
not
with
being
you.
bothered for an interview.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get you tomorrow.
No, she's here. I think we should pause this reunion and have her jump in because
Sure.
we got a lot of stuff to talk about. So
You want to pop
let's
in?
You
bring
can
her
take
in,
my
yeah.
spot.
No. Bring her in right here. Bring her in
Listen,
right here.
there's nothing I could say about the Eagles that people haven't already heard. I can tell you, I literally have no more words. Yeah, I can take
Yeah,
Pop
here,
in for
Then you
Sheil.
jump in.
We'll bring Sheil back. No, you
No, you
stay.
stay.
Yeah,
You stay.
yeah.
You're
We want to ask
pregnant. Come
Diana
on.
about you.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
Get comfortable here.
Okay.
We need the scoop.
All of Philadelphia's like, no!
I'm just hoping Diana's husband is listening to
He
this.
definitely is. He is on the train on the way home, and he's going to text me in 2 seconds. Why would you bump Sheil?
Uncle Sheil, as he's referred to.
Seriously,
in
my
Diana's
house, Sheil can do no wrong.
My house as well.
Before we get to the Eagles,
Hi.
we got to ask you about Marissa.
Yes.
I mean, what a superstar.
She was a star with you guys, and I had heard about her. And, well, first of all, Marissa was my intern. Like,
Yes, I was originally with Diana. She was first.
Years ago.
Yeah.
And I was so consumed with just doing the job every day because I was such a stinky sports anchor at the time. But I just remember this young intern was so aggressive and fun and passionate about sports. And I remember thinking she's going to be amazing one day. And then she became part of the show and, was I guess like a character. And so now she's my producer on Scoop City, and it's been awesome. And it's so obvious she learned so much from you guys and uses so much of that and applies it to the show. And that mixed with all the things that she and I have in common as being moms, it's
Jersey moms.
Jersey mom. That is the one thing we've discovered. There is a language we speak that no one else speaks. And I actually say sometimes the strength and even the weakness to our working relationship is it feels sisterly at times. And you know how you talk to your siblings in a way that if people heard you,
Sure.
you'd go, oh my God, you guys are very aggressive to me. I yell at her, but then it's like 2 seconds later, she'll like text me. She's like, so what are you doing? You know what I mean? Like we make up so quickly.
I told
No
them
grudge.
earlier I was chasing a toddler around here,
Oh, yeah,
and that was you. So
It's unbelievable. She manages me so well. She knows my weaknesses and accepts them. So I'm so lucky to have her.
Fantastic.
It was very hard to replace you guys, and there's no replacing,
I mean, we're basically
BWF
doing
family.
the show on YouTube because you put us on YouTube.
That
But
is true.
Getting
You were
to
a
work
visionary.
getting to work with Diana every day has made this so fun, and we talk about you guys all the time.
We
The
do.
Eagles are a big thing in her house, obviously.
No
so,
choice.
Yeah, I feel like it's one joined family at this point.
Okay, we will give you the quick hitting Eagles questions,
Sure.
just the quick news ones. Kellen Moore to the Saints, kind of like a done deal, probably.
Yeah.
How do you think the Eagles replace him?
Yeah, you should feel pretty good
Yeah.
about that. I think they're just going to go in-house. I think they're just going to wind up making a promotion within because you look at who's out there, and they're just not.
This is the problem they had 2 years ago.
I know.
Right?
It's this issue you have when you do so well and you win. And obviously we don't want to talk about what that Eagles season was like after they lost their coordinators because it's not great. Especially, I mean, I just thought they did such a good job this past offseason. Excuse me, Howie did such a great job this past offseason finding two good coordinators that could work with Sirianni so well and bring some of that maturity even. And obviously I'm talking about Fangio when I talk about that. To help really elevate what they're doing there. So, unfortunately, but fortunately, we'll see if they'll be able to use somebody that's already there.
I'm curious. You were the first person that really sat down with Saquon to really get his side of the story. A great interview before the season. Did he or could you foresee what has happened during the past few months?
I had no idea.
What a scoop that was,
So
though.
what stood out to me in that? Which, by the way, lesson in life: sometimes you just got to try. I was like, "There's no way he's gonna return my message." He writes right back. He's like, "You want to come over? I'll do it on Saturday." I'm like, "What? Okay."
And shout out to Diana because it was July, and the schedule's crazy, and she finally had some family time. Could have been down the shore.
Yeah.
And she booked it to his house with a crew and was ready to interview him.
It's Saquon.
So,
You don't say no to Saquon, and he's so welcoming and kind. And look, I covered him in New York so much, but and he's been the same person from day one, but. A couple takeaways from just sitting in his home where he's comfortable and his girlfriend and his children were there. I think the whole situation weighed on him a lot. It was a heavier ending to his New York chapter than I think people even understood. He didn't in the interview reveal that he was hurt or broken from it. But just being around him physically, I could tell this was going to be tough for him to let go. And he used so much of that to fuel him into the season that we're seeing. And so when you ask me, am I surprised? I'm surprised it's this good, but it makes all the sense in the world looking back at that time with him where he reminded me of one of my friends who just went through like a bad breakup and now really leveled up though. And
That's what's so human about it, right? And
It's a good
Vinny
analogy.
Curry made this point to us the other day that like maybe the Myles Garrett thing is a little bit Saquon related because you see this guy who has never been anywhere else and doesn't know sort of it's like they can't get out of this toxic relationship, right? And they've just been squandered and squandered and squandered, and then they get to the place where they're supposed to be, and he's like he's his full version of himself. And it's like, what a gift to NFL fans, because if he doesn't leave there, we never see this version of Saquon Barkley.
And I think he knew that though. And as much as he knew it, he still couldn't leave.
Yeah.
He still didn't want to, right? And so he said that it was a much shorter period of time than what what Hard Knocks showed. Like, it felt very dramatic on the show, but he said it wasn't like that at all. He's like, it was one call with Joe, and it was over. And then the Bears and the Texans were in. I remember chasing that story when it was going down, and there were a lot of back-channeling conversations happening. And I thought the Texans were going to pull it off. That's the team. And do you remember that scene where Joe said the Eagles are out? I don't know who texted him that, but I can tell you that I was texting people in New York, the Eagles are in. And I knew that they were in. So either way, that wasn't me trying to be like, haha, but it's just like.
No,
You should, yeah.
It is my favorite
You're leaving me envious, but yeah, you should.
Cringe/painful moment this season. It originally started off watching those clips of Joe Schoen saying that to John Mara as kind of like I laughed. I was like, ha, 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 like, look at Saquon now. Then it was, ooh, I kind of feel bad for him. Now it's just torture.
I mean, I was asking guys last night, who's your Joe Schoen? Like, who's the person who didn't believe in you and you like
What a
proved them wrong.
great question. Who is
That's
your
who
Joe
he is
Schoen?
now. Like,
That
it's
is
crazy.
so
Yeah,
good.
Johnny Wilson had a very specific answer.
yes, his fourth grade teacher.
You know what, too? There was something I underestimated when Saquon was in New York. I didn't realize that he was best friends with Daniel Jones. I knew they were close. I didn't know they were
Crazy.
that close. And we were talking off camera about it. And we played this fun game called Is this quarterback better than Daniel Jones? Because
Yeah.
I was trying to make him make a case to me because I had lost confidence in Daniel at that point.
Tanner McKee, yes.
And so we went through, and man, Saquon's answers were wild. He believes in his boy, put it that way. But to see him just have all the success, and he, in the interview, he even said it. He's like, I look around, I see Devonta, I see AJ, he's going through the whole roster, and Jalen Carter and Lane Johnson. He's like, I've never been on a talented team like this. So he was aware of it, and all he had to do was what Saquon does.
My last question for you is a thing that we have talked about with Howie Roseman, and I think you can probably contextualize this better than anybody else. We have talked about like one of Howie's superpowers and the things that he cares about a lot is being like at the nexus of the information, the NFL insider information ecosystem, and making sure that he thinks that he knows everything that's going on. Without getting into specific conversations, how can you speak to like how obsessed he is with that?
Howie should host Scoop City.
That's a great answer.
She should be my co-host. See you later, Chase. I think
I would love if that were the case, by the way.
it'd be amazing.
Yeah.
Howie's a collector of intel. He
Yes.
is not a giver of intel. He likes to hear what everyone's talking about and what's going on around the league, but it's tough to squeeze out intel from him. Even if you feel like he's telling you something, you're like, yeah, but he's not saying. Like when I see him on the sidelines and I catch up with him, I'm like, yep, I got nothing out of that one. But he's obviously someone who knows what he's doing and has proved that after this season. I mean, I'm sure you guys have talked about it at every single level of just truly what an incredible year he had.
Absolutely.
Putting together a championship roster, which, look, when we were giving Nick Sirianni so much heat on our show, I kept saying to the world, they believe they have a championship roster. Like Jeffrey Lurie and Howie Roseman looked at this team and was like, we need to win. This is the team that's going to win the Super Bowl. And look, here we are.
That's right.
Okay, ready?
Yes.
Is Nick Sirianni a good coach?
We'll go back and forth on
My
this.
answer is that Nick Sirianni is a good coach for this team. I don't think that he would be the perfect coach for all 32 NFL teams, but for this team where the roster is Super Bowl caliber and the job is making sure that they are ready to play every single week, he is good at that.
I think you need to suspend your belief of what someone's supposed to be like and accept them for who they are. Nick Sirianni, over 4 years, has made 2 Super Bowls, 3 double-digit win seasons, 4 playoff appearances. Like that resume, that blind resume test would blow anyone else out. But because it looks and sounds differently than maybe Philadelphia's idea of a head coach or the prototypical idea of a head coach, I was talking to Sheil during the summer, and Sheil's like, "What's he good at?" And I said, "Well, people like him. Like people, his players in particular go to bat for him. They respond to him, and I think there's something to that. So it looks different than it did with Andy Reid. It looks different than it does with Bill Belichick. But if it gets you to the Super Bowl 2 out of 4 years and the playoffs 4 out of 4 years and double-digit wins 3 out of 4 years, there's a lot of coaches who are considered better who would kill to have that resume."
Yeah. Listening to you talk just reminded me that at lunch today, I was at this restaurant called Butcher, and it's fantastic. And I ran into some Eagles employees who it was pretty cool to see that they got out a little.
Yeah.
And so I sat at their table to just catch up with some of them that I knew. And I said, gosh, your market is so hard, just the media down there. I'm like,
They must have loved hearing that, too.
so they're like, yeah, we know. I was like, man, I said this, I swear you're going to kill me. I said, you got Zack Berman tweeting out the smallest of details in the world, just eats it up. He's telling you what kind of pajamas the Eagles are wearing the night before the Super Bowl. And everyone's like, yes, more, tell us. And you know what they said?
Yeah.
You're using Zack Berman as an example, but he's actually the best one.
Oh, I appreciate
so
that.
I was
Thank you.
taking a shot at my friend, thinking
No,
like
I
just to
yeah.
connect with them, and then they came back at me. So I think that speaks to how great you are at your job.
you.
That guys here that they're reading and watching everything you do, and they
You've
like
made his
you.
day.
That didn't make my day. The scary thing, and Bo could probably tell you this, is that I probably am interested in the kind of pajamas that they wear, because that'd be a great detail in a story. So,
Well,
yeah.
you are amazing
Yes.
at details.
Thank you.
I obviously follow and listen to you guys all the time.
He's also going to want to know who you were at lunch with, but he'll save that for later.
No,
I'll let you know.
yeah.
I'll tell you off camera.
All right, Diana, thank you so much. We appreciate it.
This was about
you.
Marissa's return.
Yes.
Well, we're
Hey,
keeping Marissa.
Trust
yeah.
me.
This
Yeah.
is great.
Okay.
They
You
asked me
keep
to steal
Marissa-
you for 10 minutes, so
I'm
not
in.
only
I did my
did I
10 minute-
return, but I
this-
got you.
The true star's back, Sheil. Guys,
We'll
thank
bring
you so
Sheil
much.
back.
Thank you.
My household loves you guys, and I do too, so thank you.
Thank
I'll
you
so
text
much.
text you in 10 minutes.
Yeah, can't wait.
And we will
Get
be
another
back
fight.
in just a minute on the other side of this break. Bet365 has 90 million users worldwide, and they live stream over 780,000 events each year with early payout offers across the NBA, NFL, NHL, and MLB. Bet365 pioneered live in-game betting, and today they offer the widest range of games and markets available for live in-game betting across 78 sports. If you open a new account now, you get a little something back. You get $150 in bonus bets when you bet $5, win or lose. Sign up, use the code PHLY365, deposit $10 and place a bet for $5 to get $150 in bonus bets if your bet wins or loses. Bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, player props, futures, and more. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Must be 21 or older and physically located in Pennsylvania. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER.
I love discussing TrueMark Financial Credit Union because they are headquartered in Fort Washington, where Julia went to high school and middle school and elementary school. And if you are doing your holiday shopping and you have a credit card balance that's weighing you down, think about this. What if you could pay it off faster and with zero interest until 2026? It's true, because TrueMark Financial is offering zero interest on balance transfers for 12 months. So it's all your payments. They all go toward reducing your balance, not just covering the interest. That's amazing to hear. Here's the play. Transfer your existing balance from another institution to a TrueMark Financial Visa card and take advantage of this amazing offer. But hurry. You have to apply by February 28th, 2025. We're at February 4th right now, so you're 24 days away. Whether you're interested in earning rewards, cash back, or simply prefer a low rate for everyday purchases, with TrueMark Financial, you can choose the credit card that best fits your financial needs.
All right. Is that the rudest thing that's ever happened to you, Sheil?
That what? Crazy?
Yeah, come on.
Oh, wait, here. I just want to say one thing real quick.
That was great.
Before I finish, I just want to let everyone know you can visit TrueMark.com/compare for full details to apply today. TrueMark Financial, it's federally insured by the NCUA. It's an equal opportunity lender. Terms and conditions apply. All loans are subject to approval, and 3% balance transfer fees apply. Standard rates apply after the promotional rate.
I feel bad. We bumped you.
My Joe Schoen would be,
Okay.
I'm not going to name names,
Okay.
an Inquirer editor
Yeah.
would not give me the opportunity to write full time, so I had to get out of there.
Yeah.
That's my Joe Schoen. Did she mention Coach on Butcher?
She
That's-
said butcher. She said
yeah.
straight butcher.
I'm
which
assuming
must
it's
be
Coach on Butcher.
Yes.
Great veggie sandwich. I get it
Yes.
every time I
Nice.
come to Nolans.
Yeah,
I
great
got it
spot.
yesterday. Literally, I needed a quick in and out. Went there, so shout out to them.
Good cookie as well there.
And then what Julia's doing over here, I mean, boards, lights running around,
Seriously.
I think we
lights,
need to talk about Julia.
camera, incredible.
Yeah, let's have a little moment to
Also,
celebrate Julia.
Yes,
also
we have to celebrate
Air
Julia.
Maxes, nice Air Maxes on Julia
Oh,
and
yes.
on Diana, I noticed.
Oh, Shoe Sisters.
So yesterday I met Julia for the first time, and I told you guys I feel like the mom meeting like the wonderful stepmom that's taking care of my children, and we said not the parent that stepped up, right?
Yeah, she's
And-
not. Yeah, she's not the step producer. She's the producer who stepped up.
Yes, and every time she laughs off camera, I'm laughing. So like we're on the
Which
same
is every
page
time
of
Bo
things.
speaks, basically. Yeah.
Yeah. When Zach gets uncomfortable, there's always giggles there. But she does a wonderful job, and it has been awesome to see your guys' success on the show, and I'm just happy we're all back together.
I mean, Julia has been 24 hours a day crushing it this
Yeah.
week. Just we got VODs coming in.
They're
We're
not
cutting
doing
shorts. We're
anything.
doing.
She said
yeah,
they
I mean,
all are. Let's not
we
give them
know
too much
it's
credit.
established. I'm
They're
not doing
sitting
anything
here.
this week.
They're sitting here. Where should I sit? Someone get me a water.
3, 5, 4, 4. Bring me up, guys.
I'm the talent. All
I
right.
can't do the show. I got to
Back
go
like
to
we never left.
availability.
I feel like there was something. Marissa, I told y'all via time. I'm glad we needed one of us to sit in between
Yes.
those two. I'm glad
Let's
you're
get
there.
Let's get into the Bradberry beef.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the I don't even know. I haven't been able to listen yet. You're doing 17 hours of shows a day.
It's not a beef. It's a philosophical difference.
Okay.
He said he was yelling at his car when he was listening to
I
the
didn't
show.
yell. I kept mental notes. I said. No, I
Okay.
said I was keeping notes.
All right.
And Bo's like, "How would you keep notes? You were in the car." I said, "I kept notes in my head."
Okay.
Okay. So I've referenced, by the way, 15 times how great this show was that the two of you had.
Yeah, it was okay. I wouldn't
It was
say it was
outstanding.
better.
We've done
And Bo
better.
chooses to make it beef. I've literally complimented the show number. I've said this was a great opinion. That was a great point you made. So on. But so you were talking about James Bradberry. And I don't know why. Is this best for the audience?
I mean, this is.
This is what the audience
okay.
wants, Zach.
So
I don't
you
know
were
how
saying-
long
no,
to
but we
tell
already
you
talked
that.
about it.
Talk about
So you
most
were-
irrelevant topics
Yeah.
on Super Bowl week.
Yes. So you were saying, hey, like, how great would it be that James Bradberry? You're getting paid. Nova cares like your YMCA. You go to the cafeteria.
Fantastic.
And my disagreement,
Great
okay,
point by me.
is so I referenced. I didn't realize I was part of cancel culture when I did this, but I was.
Wait, what is it? What is about to happen?
I referenced.
Julia, get the mute button
I
ready.
referenced this interview that I read with Jerry Seinfeld and David Remnick a few weeks ago, and in that interview, Jerry Seinfeld saying like nothing can replace mastering a skill, mastering a skill or skills the greatest thing. Like money's fine, but like really mastery of a skill. And I talked about how in Seth Wickersham's book there's that Bruce Springsteen line, more than rich and more than famous and even more than happy. I just want to be great. And I pointed these out as a way of saying like, if you take such like pride in your craft and pride in what you do, then this must be miserable for James Bradberry. He loves playing football, and even though he's well compensated, here he is on the outside looking in. His skills have diminished. The team has essentially moved on from him. They've kept him around because he's guaranteed against the like. To me, there's professional pride you have and personal pride in your craft. And so I just think you were diminishing that component of it.
That was 27-year-old James Bradberry. He knows he's not that guy anymore. If he wanted to rework his contract for a league minimum, right, and give back, I don't know if you can actually do that or not because no one would do it, give back the guaranteed money and go play somewhere because that means more to him than he could do that. He's not at that point in his career. If he was 27 years old and trying to prove something, then sure. And I disagree with that quote. I mean, more than being happy, you want to be great? What the hell does that even mean? Sorry, am I allowed to say that?
Yeah, I mean, my brothers would agree with what you just said.
Yeah.
But I have recited that quote a number of times because,
it is kind of crazy to throw happiness in there. Like, as I said last night, you could say money only if you are rich, but to throw happiness in there, like why would if it doesn't make you happy, then it's not better than
He's
happiness.
not at the point in his career where he doesn't have greatness to show.
because you're chasing
He chased it. He caught
chasing
it. He was an
yourself.
all-pro.
You're
That's
chasing
not who he
yourself.
is now.
It's
All right.
it's yeah.
Now I got beef with them, Marissa.
Okay.
So they had this little thing a few weeks ago. Zach wrote a great story.
Oh, thank you.
All
I appreciate your
PHLY?
reading. Yeah,
Okay.
PHLY.
Great time
Oh,
to become a diehard.
diehard.
Actually,
Yes.
this
I
is
am
a
a diehard.
great.
I'll
this is
vouch
a-
for the T-shirts. Now size up. Your boy had to go XL. Things are happening, but very comfortable, some nice fit on the
Swole
maxi
Sheil.
one.
That's the problem.
Well, I mean, a
Great
nice
chance to
somebody
become a
might
diehard.
would be nice to say that.
$36 for the year. It's a special Super Bowl deal. Now's the time to do it.
All right, so Zach wrote the story about all the behind-the-scenes people who have made a difference for the Eagles this year.
Yeah.
You might have recognized that story from 2017. A
Yes.
young budding writer named Sheil Kapadia.
Yeah.
His original idea, I would say. So
Young,
yeah,
younger.
That's okay.
2017.
Yeah.
Debatable.
Okay.
So Zach on the show says, well, I want to give credit to Sheil and Bo, who used to do this article. Bo just takes the credit. Bo
Didn't I say Sheil did that first?
No, I didn't hear that. If he did, I didn't hear it. Zach, did you hear him
There's
say
something
that?
recently where it might have been a different thing where I said that was Sheil's
it's like,
initially.
Bo took that from me after I sound right. So Bo doesn't get credit because he was the second person to do it. I mean, what is that?
I was
So
All right, well,
my
then
beef
if
is
you
more
wanna
with
get
Bo
into-
than you.
If you want to get
You
into
gave
plagiarism,
credit.
we
You
got to
gave
talk
credit.
about we got to
Okay.
talk about the Philly special.
Okay. I could come up with 7. I could come up with a long list if you want to play this
I mean, this
game.
goes both ways.
Yeah.
This goes
Oh,
both
Marissa,
ways.
so
by the way,
fair use.
congratulations, Marissa. We just want to make that clear.
How you
Please
feeling?
disregard all this.
All
This
right.
is 10 times better.
All right. How much golf is Michael Dunn able to get in before this baby arrives?
What's our due date?
Due date is the summer, July 4th.
What a date! That's
yes.
awesome.
That's my anniversary.
What?
Zach is thrilled that I'm going to have a 4th of July baby.
Yes.
There was nobody more patriotic about the current state of America than our friend Zack Berman.
If I said that about you, you would be repulsed. Like, there is something romantic about July 4th. I stand by
It's
that.
my anniversary. Yeah.
There you go. Okay.
I don't even know how to continue after that.
Michael's golf.
It is another girl.
Congratulations.
Yes, Michael is officially going to be Girl Dad times 2, and he's very excited about that. He has not golfed yet, thank God. He's been wonderful with Madison. They're actually watching right now. He just sent me a picture.
Yeah?
All day long, he was texting me, "Is it going to be live? Is it going to be live?" I'm like, I'm doing things right now. Like, just check Twitter.
Doing things right now.
I'm a little
Hopefully
busy.
he saw Zach's Twitter because Zach gave away the surprise.
I think he must have. He didn't give away the 4th of July romantic surprise.
Yes.
So.
A
We still have that,
some
but-
super chats to get to, and then we have a few. We got a
By
lot
the
of
way,
stuff to get
Sheil
to.
is so impressed by the super chat concept. The last time he was on, he's like, people are paying money to leave comments.
Oh, I love
still
it.
can't believe
Yes.
it. I need to adopt this somehow.
Super
I'll just
chat
get my
from
Venmo
Brian,
out.
who says he had a long day. Seeing the BWF crew together again truly makes me so happy.
Oh,
All
thanks,
right.
Brian.
Big dog.
We hope you have a nice, relaxing night if you had a long day.
Yeah. Or a stiff drink,
Yeah, what do we got? Missing Barsum says, "Bird to your mother. Sincere thank you to this group for helping me appreciate the game in so many different ways, and all the nonsense."
Love it.
Thank you.
Manifestable question for Sheil.
Uh-oh.
Do you get goosebumps when you consider your prediction of Brandon Graham? Hold on, I lost it. Of Brandon Graham, his defining play, and do you have clues for Sunday?
First, I was just going to answer it no when he said, do you get goosebumps? Those days are over.
The Goosebumps days?
Yeah, I can't remember the last time, actually.
Really?
And I got some pretty hairy,
Really?
hairy arms, so when, it's noticeable when the goosebumps. Goosebumps, no. I have been thinking about my prediction, yes. Now, I did get to do this again in 2022. I don't remember what I said, but it obviously didn't hit. I do like what I'm going to say, or what I'm leaning towards as how this game ends on Sunday.
Okay.
So, yes, I'll have
Wait,
that on the Ringers Philly special.
Real quick, you don't get goosebumps like before the game on Sunday during the national anthem before it's about to
I
start.
think that's a bit of a goosebumpy thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. The pomp of
Do you
it.
want me to answer honestly?
Yeah.
No, I don't.
He's dead inside.
I'll probably be like, did I go to the bathroom recently enough?
Well, it's funny you say that because
Joy is cracking up. Yeah.
before
Kindred spirits with Bo.
every one of Michael's games, I get a little teary-eyed before the game, like seeing him
that's
out there,
awesome.
national anthem
Absolutely.
playing. They
Yeah.
do the flyover.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, he's living the dream. So one day I said, what are you thinking during the national anthem? He's like, is this game going to start soon or what?
Yes.
I'm like, you never think about like, wow, that little kid in me is living out my dream. He's like, not once. I'm always thinking about, let's get this game going. So Michael and Sheil have a little
There
bit
you
in
go.
common
Yeah,
there.
Yeah.
I'm like you, Marissa. Like
Yeah.
At the end of every national anthem, I take like 3 to 5 seconds.
Yeah.
And just like even like preseason game.
Any
regular
more would be inefficient.
Well, no, but I appreciate the fact that
This is your-
like, I
what
get
you're
to do
doing.
this.
Yeah, for a living. It's cool.
Exactly.
I am appreciative. I just
Yeah.
don't get the. Now, I am picturing me Sunday, all of a sudden, you guys will probably get better, nice seats in the front row, and all of a sudden, end of the national
I don't know
anthem,
about that, but
you hear like a pound and someone going, USA.
It's you or Zach?
No, it's me. In the I like this conversation had like a big impression on me.
Super chat from Donkey Daddy who says, ZB, have you or would you ever use a bidet toilet? Would you ever own a bidet? Thoughts?
Glad we can get these kind of conversations going again.
would I own a?
Marissa,
I
you
mean,
sit to pee?
Absolutely. And let me tell you, I'm going quite a lot these days.
to answer your question, not for me. I would not, but I have a family of 4, so if it came up elsewhere in the family, then yeah, I would consider having it, but I don't know if I would use it.
Your siblings? No one goes bidet? I
No
find that
one-
hard to believe.
Yeah. I don't think I grew up in like a bidet.
No one
house,
did.
yeah.
No one did. It's a recent phenomenon.
Yeah, so I've never used a bidet. I mean, I have nothing against bidets,
Okay.
but it's just not my It's just not my problem. I'm good with what I have.
That's what you think until you use the bidet. Listeners were very disappointed by Bose.
I heard from I heard my friend John,
Yeah.
who's a listener.
Maybe that was the problem.
He's very
It was
disappointed. But his contention was
I actually made her laugh.
you
Okay.
made
First time in 25 years.
he was coming at you, Sheil, for having recommended the sort of the Bobo version that doesn't dry, it doesn't have warm water.
Okay. I mean, what am I going to go say? Go get the Cadillac of bidets?
This is what you
I don't
vouched
know
for.
I don't know the means with which you. I enjoy it.
Okay.
I'm good with I was going to name like a car, but that might be offensive.
By the way, you installed that thing yourself?
Nice, reliable.
Yeah,
Yep. You got a plumbing.
it's not
back
that
end?
hard.
I mean, don't you have to?
I'm with you.
Don't you have
CJ.
to
I
hook
would
up the
have no
water? You have to
chance.
hook up the water.
Yeah,
Marissa, if you
turn
guys
off,
got a bidet, what
you
would
turn
be the
off the
process
water.
of-
What pipe do you use?
The one that's already into the toilet.
Oh, so this
so
replaces.
you turn off the water.
Yeah.
You take out the one that's attached to the toilet, and then it comes with this little connector.
Oh, all right, I can
so
do that.
You then,
Okay.
Yeah, you actually could do this.
Yeah, I
It's-
could. I
It's
thought
just
you
a
had
pain.
to. I
You gotta like get down under there.
I thought it needed a new pipe,
No.
and I
no,
was
no, no.
like, "Geez, you're doing plumbing work here."
So Michael
No.
and I are buying a house, and I think as an
Congratulations.
experiment, I should film him and see if he can do it.
Tushy 3.0.
Okay.
Michael, if you're
Wow, free
watching,
ad.
Amazon right now.
The other super chat here, Idiot Sandwich Sheil. Did you hear ZB's plane story? Need your take.
That was crazy.
You did get to that.
I
did-
didn't
I don't know if
hear
I
his
got the
plane
end
story.
of it.
Fanny pack?
Give Marissa the cliff notes.
All right, I'll be very quick here. I'm sitting at the ILC.
like that guy.
So is he.
There's this couple sitting window in the middle seat, window seat. They were very affectionate throughout the flight, and then I was just focused on writing my Jordan Mailata story. I wasn't paying attention to them. I had my AirPods in, but at one point, I didn't realize this guy was wearing a fanny pack. Okay, but so at one point I see the woman who was by the window. And the man's in the middle seat. I saw her like out the corner of my eye. I see like her hands like ruffling in the in his midsection, and I'm worried that something's going on next to me. Am I supposed to tell a flight attendant? Am I supposed to? So I do. Imagine
if he's tattling on him.
I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. I certainly don't want to. I certainly don't want to act like I'm.
You hit the call button.
Yeah. So I do like the quick clients like what's going on there, and then I realized he had a fanny pack and she was getting something out of his.
I mean,
fanny
you don't
pack.
know that there wasn't a hole at the bottom of that fanny pack.
Based on the other things you said, yeah.
They got up to go to the bathroom twice. And
Together?
Together.
Oh, wow.
And because she said that,
wow.
because he said, so she got up and then he said, well, I don't want you to have to keep getting up. And I was like, okay. So they both went
Good
together.
excuse.
And then, but they were drinking, so it would stand to reason that they had to pee. But it's not like it's like a 3-hour flight. We're not talking about, a trip to Dubai here, right? So,
I mean, I can't just who's wearing a fanny pack around?
I mean, this guy.
I want to know how much work you actually got done on the Jordan Mailata
do you?
story.
You can read it on
Oh.
PHLY.com. It's about
Okay,
his
I like
Samoan
it.
heritage. But how much work did I get done? I finished the transcribing and then the outline for the story. And then I wrote it on Monday morning.
So you were still productive despite what was going on.
You have to
That's
be.
how Zack Berman works.
3 hours on the plane is like ample time to be productive. Yeah.
Julia said she wears a fanny pack. Jessica actually has
Fanny
the
packs are in.
fanny pack, but it's more like you wear.
Yeah, like
one of those.
the
One of those
Lululemon one.
diagonal satchel.
But she
type
finds
deals.
it very
Yeah.
useful. Yes.
The other super chat here from Manifestable. A question for Sheil. This is not my question. Is it hard to report in the era of Bo Wulf, where any other era you'd be considered a GOAT, but just happened to coincide with Bo's time?
No,
Oh, just paid for
that's
its
not something.
That's
I
never
could
occurred
say-
to
yes,
Sheil in his life.
I've never given that even a millisecond of consideration.
Max also says Japanese
Wait, did
toilets.
that person pay for that one?
Yeah.
Yes.
Unbelievable.
Now we have this one is coming from Max, and I believe it
I didn't think we
is
brought Franny's.
in yen. Japanese toilets will change ZB's mind. Come over to Osaka.
I want to go to Japan. I hear it's a wonderful country. And I actually have a friend who coaches basketball in Japan, and I see his wife's.
Really?
Yeah, I see his wife's photos on Instagram, and like everything is so nice and clean, and yeah, it's beautiful. I'm eager to go to Japan one day.
Who do you have more respect for, the country of Japan or Mormons? If you had to choose one.
Honestly,
if you had to.
you're going to say this is a politically correct answer. I try to have respect for everyone.
Okay.
Like until someone gives me a reason not to respect them, there's a baseline of respect that you have.
Who's the last person who gave you a reason not to respect
And
them?
what was the reason?
I don't want to get into that. Yeah, that's inappropriate for the air. But yeah,
Wow.
How about don't
he
tell
has
us?
someone, though.
How about don't tell us who, but tell us what the reason was?
Okay, good one.
And is it Bo?
no, this one's not Bo. No,
This one's not Bo,
This
but
one's not Bo. No,
because I'm not the most recent. Mine was long ago.
No, this is.
You saw my work ethic.
Don't go there. I had to say that.
What's that? I missed that.
You didn't get to the end of yesterday's episode.
I was complimenting. I was going around the horn of how hard everyone was working, and because I didn't mention Bo first.
No. You cannot retrofit that. That is not what happened. You specifically said everyone else, and we're done, and didn't mention me. It's fine. That's a normal thing to not name everybody, but don't pretend like it was because
I was saying
you didn't name me first.
No, I was saying Fran worked so hard, and Julia worked so hard, and Chris worked so hard. Yeah, and Bo works so hard too. Okay, there you go. Bo works so hard too. You're doing an outstanding job.
All right, that sounds
No.
But no, yeah, the last person I know exactly. This person did not disrespect me, but disrespected someone who I love.
Oh,
and
geez.
so
Take them out.
So
yeah,
that
automatically canceled.
That's
so that
You're
frustrated
done.
me exactly.
Can we get Marissa to tell the I needed it story?
I think that's a
Is
great,
that
it's a
appropriate
great
or not?
story.
So I'm putting you on the spot. So
Sure.
Okay.
My husband might not.
Michael's turning it off right now.
Yeah, Michael. Madison needs something. So if you're listening to this, because all right, so this is important to tell because Sheil now uses this line.
Oh, in the fair, we use it all the time in the Kapadia household.
So after I had Madison, it's exhausting having a newborn, and I tried to warn Michael about that. I don't think he quite realized. I mean, how can you until you actually are
Sure.
in the moment? And it was 4th of July, actually. Madison's birthday is June 29th, so it was only a few days after I had her. And Michael slept quite late one day. I didn't wake him up because I just thought he would wake up. And he came downstairs very late in the morning. I won't reveal the time because he may kill me. And the first thing he said to me as I'm holding the baby 5 days out of having his child, I needed it. And I looked at him and I was like, you needed it? And yeah, let's just say he's learned a lot since that moment.
Great dad. But now in the Kapadia household, whenever anyone sleeps, takes a nap, when you see the other person, you just go, I needed it.
I can actually empathize with Michael because there's
You never sleep.
No. Because there was a time recently where so maybe I was empathizing with the wrong person here, but yeah, so I'm empathizing with Marissa here, I suppose, but I got in trouble here, and rightfully so. That's what I mean. I empathize with Michael is that there was a time, and it was such a dumb comment on my part, is that like I was up early and I was playing with the kids in the morning, and then they came in to the bedroom at like 7 a.m. Yeah, it was 7 a.m. And I said to Emily, I let you sleep in today, and it's like 7 a.m. And she was like, let me sleep in.
Yeah, and the letting you line, like
you.
I let
No,
you.
that's you.
Yes.
Yes.
No one's
Yeah,
letting
so
anyone do
there's-
anything.
yeah.
As if you deserved a parade. For,
Also,
look at me. I let
Yeah.
you sleep until 7.
as if like I'm not doing like 40 nights on the road this season. Yeah, so I won't use that term again.
All right. Well, on the other side, we're going to find out why the Michael Dunn story is important to this show. On the other side. Time to tell you about our friends at Golden Nugget Jewelers. Because if you're looking for your own fanny pack companion, you might want to lock it up first. Go to Golden Nugget Jewelers at 8th and Chestnut in downtown Philly. It's a family-owned and operated business since 1987. If you're getting engaged, they have a wide assortment of rings and wedding bands to fit anyone's style. Receive a final cleaning and written appraisal with every engagement ring purchase. Not just wedding jewelry. You can find watches, diamond necklaces, diamond bracelets, earrings, and more. You deserve an expert and the best price. Golden Nugget Jewelers, where Philly gets engaged. Head over to goldennuggetjewelers.com to learn more.
I want to tell everyone about our friends at Ace Hardware Home Services. Maybe you have a leaking pipe. Maybe you are installing a bidet. At Ace Hardware Home Services, we're around the block with everything you need to fix it, or including the person doing the fixing. If there's an air conditioning issue, they have a person for that. If there's a faucet that you said you'd fix last fall, they have a person for that too. Because now they're not just the helpful home hardware folks, they're also the helpful home service and repair folks. From plumbing to heating and cooling, they have the trusted pros to keep your home humming all year long. Ace Hardware Home Services, they're bringing helpful home, the helpful you love, from the store now to your front door. Visit Ace Hardware Home Services online at www.acehardwarehomeservices.com to get you started on your next project.
Super chat from Ocean, who says his wife also has an early July due date with their first kid. Shout out first-time grandpa and longtime sicko Peter Paul. There you go. Also expecting
Who?
Rachel.
Oh, congratulations. That is awesome.
April.
I was
That's
waiting
amazing.
to, I didn't want to reveal anything.
I didn't know if that was known or not.
This is
yeah.
it.
No.
This is
This
breaking
is
it
the
on the
baby
show.
pod.
Yeah, this is the baby pod. And I told you at the Browns game,
Yes.
and shortly thereafter you found out you were pregnant, right?
Yes. So I saw you guys. That was week 5, right?
Week 6.
Week
Yeah.
6. The bye week was week 5.
Yes, correct.
Good job.
Yeah, and
Did Sirianni yell at you, by the way? Because that was the game he went nuts. Did it?
I just want to say, everyone thinks the shaving the head and all of that was the turnaround. I was in the link that day. Obviously, I was in other apparel.
Yeah, it wasn't
but
Cooper DeJean.
I think all these, listeners missed me, and that's what they needed,
I like
so maybe that's why we're back here. And the last time I was pregnant, the Eagles were in the Super Bowl.
That's true.
So
That's a good point.
And the last time the Eagles were in the Super Bowl, we were very angry that you weren't here.
I know. And now I am here, so maybe the outcome will be different is what I'm trying to say. So
I think
hopefully
that's
for
right.
Eagles fans, that's the case.
Okay.
Zach,
Yes?
any news to share? No?
Sheil, how about you?
Second,
No, yeah,
Just
a little bumpy bump.
no. Working hard, trying to grow the company as best I can.
That makes it sound like you don't have time. Like that's the problem.
Or
No.
that could also make it sound like he is having another child.
Yeah, no,
Growing the company.
No, I'm viewing like PHLY as my child, and I'm trying
Okay.
to grow this thing up. Yep.
Donkey Daddy says, Sheil, my favorite story was when your daughter was sick and you and or your wife accidentally woke her and she was like, "Hi, Mom," and then didn't recognize you.
I don't remember that, but it sounds right.
Shout
I
out
actually
to
always
Jessica and
remember
the girls.
the story of you like sneaking in to try to cut their nails, like it was
Yeah.
like a ninja experiment.
Nails
That's right.
are an awful process.
Oh,
tough.
that's
Awful.
my elite skill.
Oh, really? I'm going to
Really?
drive
Yeah.
Madison
I've
to Philly
never
then.
bring them over.
Here's a question that I was thinking about the other
It's
day.
so satisfying to the click. You know what I'm saying? You don't get it. Yeah.
I like that's part of why I like the knuckle crack.
Yeah, you're a big knuckle cracker.
I am a big
You
knuckle
do it
cracker.
during the show.
It's not the
I
same.
do it during the show.
Yeah.
Oh, oh.
It's true. Occasionally, I actually catch myself. I've done it during like an Eagles press conference before.
Oh, yeah. No, you definitely do it during the show.
Zach knows.
Yeah. I mean, talk about a satisfying feeling. It's as good as it gets.
Do you crack your knuckles, Zach?
Not during the show.
Not official. No.
No.
This is what I was
But he
wondering.
has a lot of respect for knuckle crack.
What do you think? Take out the knuckle. What do you think is? What do you think is a skill?
No. That we're not doing. We're not. No, come on.
What do you think is a skill that you are 50%, like 50th percentile in the world at? Like, what do you think you are completely average at?
50th percentile in the world at. For some reason in my head, I just thought of peeling a banana. Can you be good at that or not? I don't
You
know
can
why
if you do
popped
it the
into
right
my
way,
head.
yeah.
Okay. I don't know.
I'm probably 50% at like cooking. Michael would definitely say like 20% at cooking, but I'm gonna give myself 50%.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who can't cook at all.
Yeah, I could whip something up.
Okay.
So we're considering 50th percentile low, right? Like
Average.
Yeah,
Right
Perfectly
average.
average.
Average. I mean, there's a lot of things I'm
Nothing.
not good at that I need to improve on, like handiwork and things of that nature. I would say I'm in the 50th percentile at I don't know, making a bed.
Oh,
That's a good one.
Great one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Amazing
That's a good
answer.
one.
Like-
I
I'm in
think
the 100th
50
percentile.
Yeah.
of that,
Oh, no,
I
I'm
will say.
50th percentile.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
Okay.
think that's a great answer.
I'm married to a
Fantastic.
100th percentile one, so
Yeah.
I feel sometimes like I'm a
Yeah.
10th percentile. But I think compared to like
and you mean the quality of the
Do you
make,
chop
not
the pillows?
not the fastidiousness with which you make the bed.
Chop the pillows.
Yeah,
Yeah.
to make the line in the middle. You gotta like
Why do I want to lie in the middle? That's where my head goes. I don't want it to sink.
no, but like the decorative pillows that you put on the
Oh,
front.
no, we don't do that.
Oh,
You
right.
gotta chop the pillows
Okay.
so they look
I
nice.
didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah. Yes.
Zach
yeah.
has talked about decorative pillows.
Oh yeah,
at
there's
length, I feel.
there's pillows I am not allowed to lay down
Yes,
on. Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Make it. What an answer.
Great
Unbelievable.
answer.
Michael's pillowcases are actually a different color than mine, a slightly different color, because
Why?
I don't ever want to use his pillowcases. Because he's gross. Like he sweats at night. He puts them between his legs.
Oh yeah, you gotta have that.
You got to have the leg pillow.
You gotta have the
absolutely.
leg pillow.
But
It
you
was-
can't be using. You can't be turning the leg pillow into the head pillow.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So they're a slightly
Until
different
after
color.
a wash, yeah.
Because if
I thought
that
it was like because he's been
random-
sweating on him so much that they've turned a different
Oh
color.
no! They are like designed to be a different color because if they were all just generic white, I don't want that accidental leg pillow to end up on my head one
Sure.
night. That would be horrible.
Do you have a? We have one for to put the iPad on if we're watching. We call her Bertha. Monstrous pillow,
Nice.
big elevation.
Love
Yeah.
Flop it in the middle.
Nice.
If you want to watch.
What's
up
Bertha's purpose for not that?
Hit the road.
On the floor.
Although
Yeah.
sometimes Naya and Leela will come in and say goodnight, and then they'll say goodnight, Bertha.
So dude,
So she is a member of the family.
I love it.
I meant to say before the story of the craftsman. What's better than mastering a skill? Last night, Zach and I get back to the hotel. Well, Zach and I leave to go back to the hotel at about 12:30 or whatever it was. And as we're about a block away from the hotel, Zach realizes that he left his phone where we were having a late dinner.
Rough.
And I'm like, oh, do I go back with Zach or
Nah,
not?
those are
It
fine.
didn't really
Yeah.
feel like a go back with Zach
Yeah.
situation. He was flustered enough. I go on.
I was so tired.
I could tell.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I think we all know a tired Zach
Yes.
when we see a tired Zach. So I go ahead. My turn to go to the hotel room. Get up. Key card's not working in the door. Okay, go back down. Get a new key. Still nothing. And it's not like the key's not working. It's like the key reader is not working. It's completely dead. I try it on a couple other doors, which is maybe a little creepy just to see, but you get
Someone
the
was looking
That's
through their keyhole.
weird.
just to
That
see.
is-
It's a push. So it's not. I'm not working the door.
But if I'm in the door and I hear the click,
Yeah.
I'd be like,
Listen, tough.
yeah,
It's
what are you,
12:30. I gotta do what I gotta do.
crazy?
Just to see.
12:30?
Just to see if it's working or not. And the lights are reacting on the other doors. They're not reacting on mine. So I come down. Okay, the key reader's up there. I'm waiting. Zach comes in. 2 ships passing the night. He's solved. He's ready to go. Then I wait for they say they got to call engineering.
Oh goodness.
So I go wait by the door. Here comes the guy. He brings his own the magic key card that works on every door. No response. He's like, all right, I'll be back in a couple minutes. Comes back 5 minutes later, and you want to talk about a craftsman, a man who has mastered what he's doing. He's got this contraption. He plugs it in. He jingle jangles it. Gets me in, and I'm like, okay, is this going to work tomorrow? He's like, oh no, I'm not done. So he got me into the room, and then he starts to really work on it. And meanwhile, he's he's got a back and forth on the radio with a woman who just checked in a famous sportscaster, and they're talking smack about him and his terrible hairline. Very funny stuff.
Wait, what?
But
You know who the sports cat? You heard the name?
Oh yeah, I heard the name.
Wow.
It's a very funny conversation. The whole thing. And this guy's meanwhile he's just making it happen, and I'm so impressed with the craftsmanship. And we're having a conversation, and then he just leaves. I didn't even get to thank him. he bounces. He's gone like that.
All right. So you take out a 20.
That's
you go
what
to
I'm-
the front desk
yeah.
and you say, "Can you give this to Giorgiano?" I don't know what his name
Or
is.
you pretend your key card doesn't work tonight, and then you
get him
to
back.
come
Yeah.
Or what if it's a different guy at the
Yeah.
Maybe they
Mm.
pull tips though, right? My valet parking days we used to pull tips.
Maybe you see if you see him around the rest of the week, and on the
hoping.
last day, if you don't.
I'm hoping. Yeah.
Yeah.
What other beef did you have with Zach, Sheil? You had one other thing that you said.
Please.
I don't remember what it was. You said there were two things.
No, that was
to
it. I
oh, that
shared
was
it
Oh,
already.
Okay.
yeah.
Although the sleep thing is interesting to me. Now, Marissa, how many hours does Michael Dunn sleep?
Definitely not as much now that we have. Now that since
Okay.
I needed it, we're both pretty much up by 7. But we've been going to bed later. During the season, he is like clockwork, like 9 o'clock in bed, doesn't mess around.
See that, Zach? High performer right
Yes.
there. Here's the
I
thing.
wanna sleep more.
feel like for someone who values efficiency so much, the reasons you give for not sleeping are absurd.
Yeah, sleep is important, Zach.
I agree. I want to sleep more.
You don't agree because
It's
then you make
important for you
comments.
to hear this from someone who's not me.
Because then you make comments like, "But then I'm gonna miss West Coast baseball games."
No, that's no. I
Life
literally
is
said,
about making hard
Yeah,
choices.
no. I literally said during the summer I did not watch West Coast baseball.
Okay.
Games. Yeah, I slept more. But no,
Okay.
during the season, trust me. I want to sleep more.
I
am
swear.
so the other night I fell asleep with my laptop on my chest, all the lights on.
Absurd.
I was transcribing and just passed
Okay,
out.
all right.
Yeah,
You're lucky it didn't fall off of
Poor
you.
little buddy.
I would love like
I want to sleep more.
1 year where I could manage you. I feel like I would make a lot of improvements
See,
in your life.
I wear this to collect the data.
I know, but what's the point? Like the point of collecting the data is for it to show
To
you
change your
that you're
habits.
to change
Right.
your
'cause it
habits.
tells you here. So last night.
you transcribe every single thing that happens. That is such a waste of time. It's incredible.
So last night was that was my sleep.
4
last night.
hours, 19 minutes.
4 hours.
Absurd.
The night before.
5 hours, 8 minutes. Absurd. 5:40. There's no way to live. All right, there's a 6:57 in there. So
6:57.
There's
Good
so
for
many.
you.
Yeah,
there
that
are
was,
a lot of things I could cut out of your life that would allow
Friday to
you
Saturday morning.
for 2 more hours of sleep a night. That would then make you a higher performer than you already are, and feel
Oh, I-
better.
I
mean, you already got the
appreciate that.
gym going on. You're looking good.
Thank you.
Now it's
Yeah,
time for the next one.
F45, twice a
Yeah.
week. Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate
Okay.
you saying that.
I mean, transcribing, reading every single thing on the internet is not something you need to do.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm gonna have to agree with that.
I mean-
Especially these days, there's
Yeah.
a lot of stuff we
You don't need to
skip.
see every tweet.
Twitter,
you don't
we
need to
can-
see everything written about the Eagles.
I
You're
w-
there
I would,
at every single
I
thing.
would disagree with you on that.
You
All
could
right. Well,
choose- you
when
could
the
pick your
season's
spots.
over this
yeah.
next week,
Fans of
then-
this show are in a
Yeah.
bind because they want the Eagles to win the Super Bowl, but they also know that if the Eagles win the Super Bowl, it's going to be terrible for your short-term health.
Yeah. So
You know
what's
what?
the plan? You get right on a plane Monday morning.
What for to go
Yeah,
back?
yeah.
Well, no. We have a noon flight back.
Okay.
Yeah. And then, but look, anything over a short period of time you can handle, right? It's like
This isn't a
short-
short
This
period.
isn't a
Zach.
short period.
It's been going on since
40 years.
Yeah.
Well,
No, I'm
38
saying,
years,
like,
whatever.
come-
How dare you?
Yeah, come the off season, I will. I'll be all right. Yeah, like these,
That's not that's
No, like
not
this summer.
guaranteed.
It's
we
not
spend.
1 month.
I don't think the listeners care about my sleep
What?
habits.
Well, that I
This is.
disagree.
I mean, when will you ever realize the show that you're on?
All right.
at some point.
If you log, here's what I would have if I was your man. I would say log everything you do throughout the course of a day for a week and send it to me, and then we're gonna meet and we're gonna choose the things that
Like
we
Coach
cut out,
Sheil.
and then we're gonna choose the things that we want to cut out, and that's gonna lead to more sleep, and that's gonna lead to better performance.
Look, I agree. I need to sleep more. I want to sleep more. The things you say to cut out, it's like, you know, look. Cal Ripken had a book. It was called The Only Way I Know, right? And like I want to be, and I have been more efficient in certain areas, but I do think that for me to do the job the way I like to do the job is I want to transcribe things. I want to have documents that I can go back and say, like, all right, this person said this on this day. Because you never know when you're going to need it. You never know.
I actually think that stuff is part of your superpower.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate you saying that.
I
Yeah.
think you and I would not do that job, but that is
that's-
part of what makes it.
I'm
great at this
not
job.
as good a host as Bo is, right? I'm not as good a host as you are. I think you have to lean into what your skill is, and part of I think my.
But I do think there are many other things.
All
that
right,
you
so
can
you
cut
can
out.
keep doing that, but then I would have
Okay.
other stuff to cut out.
Speaking of which, the Eagles did have some availability today.
Yes.
Let's send it over to the Stone Cold newsman, Zack Berman.
2 hours.
So
Eagles in the Super Bowl, by the way.
Oh,
Thank
wait,
you.
Are we talking about
Yes.
a game?
yes, so I did ask Josh Sweat today why he changed agents ahead of free agency because look, free agency is a big deal. The Super Bowl is also a big deal, and Josh Sweat. I'm going to read you the direct quote because I appreciate. Look, I've known Josh now for 7 years.
That's your
I
man.
Appreciate his honesty about things.
I think a case to be made the best story you've ever written.
Thank you very much. That's nice of you. I hope my next one is, though. Josh Sweat said, "It's the biggest moment of my life. That's it, really. I just thought it was the best for me, and I wanted to be the most prepared I could be for it." So, his free agency's coming up. He says that's the best moment of his life.
The
Elsewhere,
best or the most important?
the best.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
The best, yeah. It's the biggest. The
That's
biggest.
interesting.
I'm sorry, the biggest moment.
And when you change agents, you have to go like unrepresented for a short period,
yeah,
right?
he did that. So he
Yeah,
hired
so
his new agent.
do it now before the combine,
Exactly.
before all
Yes.
those.
How about that little
Right?
scoopy
Yes.
scoop?
Yeah,
Yeah.
little insider
Little
knowledge there.
scoopy
Good
scoop.
timing.
Hey.
Yeah, you don't want like the Super Bowl to be over and the combine,
Yeah.
is right around the corner and not be represented.
What do you think the reasoning is for that rule?
I don't know. Kind of silly
Seems
in my
weird
opinion.
and unfair.
Yeah.
Well, the reason is in theory, okay, and this is not in practice. In theory, because it's supposed to be such that you're not recruited by another agent.
Right.
So it's
Sure.
supposed to be that you fire or break up with your agent, however you want to frame it, and then you commence there's a mandatory waiting period, and you commence a search during that period to determine who your next agent's going to be. In reality, and I'm just speculating here, but sometimes there's there's agents who poach you, basically. So
Thanks for watching on Fast, by the way, and check out the rest of this episode on allphly.com. We have some more super chats to get to. Brandon says, "Is Jason Peters down there? Can we maybe get him to have a little chat with Jake Elliott before the game? Birds by 13, let's go."
yeah, I don't think Jason Peters is working Radio Row this week, but I would love to catch up with
Marcus
Jason.
Smith is here.
I
Yeah.
saw. I would love to
Yeah.
chat with Marcus.
Yeah, him and Vinny were getting
I thought that was a good
getting
story.
along last night. Matt Dio says, "My first jersey was a McNabb given to me by my dad that I wear often. McNabb, most successful quarterback in Philly until Jalen wins on Sunday." That was from earlier today.
Yeah, Donovan McNabb is the best quarterback in Eagles history. And by the way, his son, Donovan
so
McNabb.
far.
Yeah, Donovan McNabb
Tanner McKee.
Jr. is a good wide receiver prospect, so pay attention to him.
Where?
Out of Arizona, like a high school prospect
Okay.
in the state of Arizona.
Matt PD says, "Put these 4 on a PHLY T-shirt." Was that one from today? From this episode? Oh, that's fun. Chase Daniel Plainview. Sheil, is Sirianni showing the film Focus again?
Oh, I couldn't tell you that. I'll let you know. Maybe I'll ask again and see you on Friday.
Fresh Prince says, "I agree that seeing the BWF fam back together makes me happy, but I'd rather be great."
That was a good one.
So elsewhere in Eagles news, it was not a particularly newsy day today. The availability, there were 9 players, and then Sirianni spoke about how he's thankful for the 2023 season. They don't spend a lot of time talking about it, but he said that really built up a lot of what they did. And Sirianni, Jeff Stoutland said yesterday, it was actually Sirianni's idea to move Mekhi Becton to guard. Sirianni spoke about how it was something that the coaching staff discussed together and that he was able to win that job. Jalen Hurts was asked about having a new offensive coordinator, and it will be the 9th time in 10 years that he has a new offensive coordinator next year.
It's like Baker.
Yeah, and he said he laughed and he said, "Ask me that one next week." And then just some good background on stuff from some other players. I have a story that's in the very I wouldn't say early stages, middle stages, that I thought might be a little cheesy, but then I started talking to players. It was actually a story that Saquon planted in my head, and as I started talking,
Those late night pillow talks.
No, something that Saquon said, and then followed up with him on it, and then it turns out that I think I can really frame it into a creative story that I think really explains the 2024 Eagles. So hopefully I get that out by Thursday or Friday. But I talked to some people today who actually said, "You're onto something with this." So that's
Ooh, I like that.
That's a good one.
Good tease.
And then Yeah, and then Jamie and Chris were there, and they're going to have stuff on our YouTube channel, so make sure you check that out, please.
Yes, by the way, if you have watched these two shows, there's more content still from today beyond just the 2 live shows. Go check out the videos, the VODs, as they call it. Interview with Thomas Dimitrov about Howie Roseman and much more, and also the shorts, social, all that good stuff. Julia, can you get the 30-second clock again? We'll play another little game before we go. Before that, Sheil, I feel like I should ask you like some Eagles question.
Really?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
one Eagles question. Now that we're
Michael
past an hour in.
got along with Baker, right?
Yeah, loved Baker.
I mean, Baker is really has helped a lot of coaches. You know,
Crazy,
Yeah.
right?
Stefanski wins Coach of the Year with him.
Yep.
Then Canales has a good year with him. He gets a head coaching job. Now Liam Cohen.
Yeah.
I mean, is it Baker or is it the coaches?
Crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, well,
It may be, honestly, well,
Combo.
I'm trying to think if it reframes, because it's part of the reason I think that Stefanski is a good coach, is that Baker year. And I guess I still do.
The Flacco
because
year,
the
though, yeah.
Flacco one is what cements it. It's
Their
you
offense was,
pull Deshaun out.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, you're
I like
the
Stefanski.
You're the national
No,
guy.
I like
yeah.
Stefanski.
I like Stefanski.
yeah, he's great.
Give me like one under the radar matchup that you think matters this week.
Is anything under the radar?
Yeah, I
Look
know, that's the
around.
thing.
How
Yeah,
do all
I
these
know.
people get? Not these people, but don't you think when you
You
walk
people.
around, I'm like, how are all these people credentialed to cover the Super Bowl?
What?
Not saying like who. I'm saying like who are the companies who have money to send all? Have you
Hmm.
seen some of these people? It's crazy. I'm like, media's thriving.
Yeah.
Or do you just not do anything
Not
the
quite.
rest of the year and save up for just send like, why would you do that? It's crazy. You don't walk around media night and like, what is happening? It's nuts. Like, all these people flew to New Orleans and are staying in hotels and expensing meals? For who? All due respect. All right, what was your question?
I don't remember.
You were saying one
Under
Eagles
the radar matchup.
Under the radar. I mean, there's not a lot that's under the
Who
under
has a bigger game, Devonta Smith or A.J. Brown?
Good question.
I-
Zone heavy team.
I think A.J. Brown will have a better box score. I think Devonta Smith may have the bigger impact.
Okay. I like that. Good
Yeah.
good hedge.
Yeah.
Yeah, hard to be wrong.
Let me ask you this here, because
These are bad questions. I mean,
I'm
Zach
curious.
will come with a good one.
I'm curious. You know Jeffrey Lurie well.
I
Okay?
mean, I would not say that at all.
you spent time with him at his college at the.
That was like 2 days.
Who's the third?
graduation.
Who's the
2 days
third
over
most
the course
attractive
of like.
What's that? No. So here's my question for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
He didn't give me a shield when I asked the question yesterday. So yeah.
They give you
He
that
was
look
so
that
excited
he
when you
gave
came back to Philly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a lot
I
of
like
things
that.
that happened since then.
A lot of things have happened.
Water
since then.
under the bridge, my friend.
So, look.
Zach is still trying to claw his way back.
Yeah. I want to know who those executives were. Yes. Need some allies in that building.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, let's say hypothetically the Eagles lose this Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Okay. And Nick Sirianni, who's been out, I just outlined the case to Diana, but he has like these big contract demands, because he's entering this lame duck year, and so he wants to be paid like a top 5 coach, let's say, in theory. And you're Jeffrey, and you're like, do I want to commit to paying Nick Sirianni to be a top 5 coach when 3 months ago I wasn't sure about him? I guess what's Jeffrey's position in that situation?
I mean, I would think you would just pay him.
Just-
They're getting to the Super. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know that he. I don't know. You might know it better than me. I don't
Yeah.
remember him playing like hardball with. It feels like he has certain positions in the organization that he, quarterback, coach. I would think general manager. That if he thinks he wants the person.
Yeah.
I mean, paying him at a top 5, he did just get to the Super Bowl. It's like that's not outlandish.
I just asked because look,
what's his alternative?
If you're
gonna
Nick
be?
Sirianni, you see what Ben Johnson and Liam Cohen just got paid, and
Yeah.
you're like, look what I've done, man. And again, coaches' salaries aren't as publicly available,
Right.
but I don't think there was a huge bidding war to get Nick back in on his original
Yeah.
contract, right? So I am curious because I do think. Jeffrey was very complimentary of Nick last night. There's a piece on allphly.com, but he was calling he was calling Howard Roseman the best GM in football. Like he was like effusive in his praise of football.
Talking
And it
about
was
his chance with Bill Belichick.
yeah, and it was never. It was like Nick is this is his greatest strength and his greatest weakness. Right?
Yeah.
So
that was what an interesting comment
Yeah.
that was. But like, what's his alternative going to be? Don't pay him and find another coach. I mean,
so that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
that would be shocking.
Yeah.
If you decided to stick with him last year and he just got you to the Super Bowl.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Marissa,
I think Nick's a good coach, as I said.
For the sickos, where do we stand on MD? What's Michael's status?
He is a free agent again, so we shall see. Yeah, I mean,
Mekhi Becton replacement.
Hey, I will say Michael's been so impressed with Mekhi Becton
Nice.
this year. He's loved watching him on film and, said good for him.
Yeah.
Like, look at what a difference in coaching and a team makes, And I loved what Zach said that, maybe he sticks around and is eventually Lane's replacement and they
Thank you
move
for
him
listening.
out.
I
thought
appreciate
that was really insightful. So we'll see. But Michael does think he's going to get paid this offseason.
I actually don't think that Mekhi Becton. I think it's more likely that Fred Johnson is Lane Johnson's replacement than Mekhi Becton is.
Really?
Interesting.
Yeah, I think part of the reason that the Eagles think that he is successful as a guard is because he doesn't have to deal with pass blocking in space as much.
Okay, you might be right.
I think they're going to draft that replacement this year, but that's just my take.
Did we have a show on? No, I don't think we talked about this. Lane Johnson, because this came up on Saturday, and we didn't have a show Saturday.
Oh yeah, you're right. We haven't talked about this.
Lane Johnson said that he's definitely not retiring. That he's definitely back. He's definitely playing next season. So we've been talking for a few years about Lane Johnson's eventual replacement, but Lane made it clear that it wouldn't come next year. So when you're kind of looking at the trade, I know the Eagles like to plan ahead, and Jeffrey Lurie said part of like what they did really well was time Jason Kelsey's retirement perfectly, which isn't accurate because I think they thought Kelsey was going to retire a year earlier.
Right.
Yeah,
but
we're trying to get rid of him like 7 years.
No,
before
but
or
I mean
whatever.
when they drafted Juergens,
Sayamalu about when they drafted Sayamalu.
I think they viewed it as like a 1 year
The
apprenticeship
2022,
and then take
The
the
Super Bowl,
But nonetheless, they do like to get ahead of this. But there might not be that same urgency because I can see Lane playing beyond the 2025 season. I can see him, I can see him playing 2026 as well.
All right, let's close this with a round of tableau.
What's the over/under for when Michael Dunn enters the media? That's
They're going to say Hall of Fame.
I don't know. I don't know if he's I think they're giving everyone credentials these days, right?
I think he might be more scouting, coaching material, Michael Dunn. That's
think,
a tough life, though.
No, we want him on
yeah.
the media side.
Yeah, I think he wants to, coach our kids' teams and things like that and be present for that. So, but I do think he would like to work in football at some point or in some capacity. I don't think he really knows yet, so we'll see.
Get ready for 3rd and 4th grade girls hoops. It's no joke. Most intense part of my week.
I can only imagine he's going to be way too competitive, and I'm going to have to be like, okay, they're children.
Leela got a rebound last week. I celebrated like we won the NCAA tournament.
That's the best.
Amazing.
I have the opposite experiences.
What do you mean?
Like my,
He cheers for the other team.
No. Like my in-laws, they're amazing people. Amazing. I love my in-laws. Okay, but they'll come to Reed's game, and like he'll like. So let's take baseball. He plays baseball, football, basketball. Okay, and soccer. But let's say he gets like the bat on the ball. Okay, like a ground ball, like a sputtering ground ball to the shortstop. They will be like jumping up. Reed, you're so great. You're so great. I'm like. He barely. You see this? I mean, let's praise him when he earns praise. But like,
How old is Reed again?
Reed's 7. But yeah, even in football, it's like they're he had a first down and they were so. I was like, he did what he was supposed to do there. He just caught the he didn't juke anyone out. He wasn't. Yeah, I mean, I'm proud of him, but like,
Doesn't sound like it.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
I'm not convinced.
but I tell them this all the time. I'm like, yeah, I have the same conversation with Emily. They think he's like they think he's going right to the pros, like based on.
Or they're just being supportive.
Supportive. I mean, you can be supportive, but it becomes like, So then when he does when he scores a touchdown or he hits a home run, then what, right? You already used your huge cheer for the little dribbler to the shortstop.
There's not like a. You have 3 in your pocket, and you can only use. They are unlimited supply.
It's like the boy who cried wolf. Yeah, but anyways.
But not.
I think we need to go to Reed's games and be part of this cheering section.
You want me to go boom?
No, don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't do that because he would actually take that. He's yeah.
I wouldn't do that.
He has a deal with me. He has a deal with me that he says he said, Dad, when I get drafted, will you move where I get drafted? And I said,
Ooh,
Reed,
deal.
if you get drafted, I will definitely move where you get drafted.
That's adorable.
I'll move wherever you want. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, he's confident. And then he asked, so my wife went to Penn State. I'm giving too much personal stuff here, but
Keep going, Zach.
and so he got into Penn State football this year, and so he's like, Dad, do they invite Penn State players to the combine? And I was like, yeah, Penn State player. He's like, all right, good. Then I can go to Penn State because he wants to go to the combine. So
That's awesome.
They train them very well for the
exactly what I was gonna
combine.
say,
I don't know what they're doing there,
Yeah.
but yeah.
All right, Zach, we're going to let you go first.
What is this? What are we
We're
doing?
playing Tableau.
Okay.
All right, when the time's up,
Is it
I'll hold this up.
Okay.
Is it like 11:30? What
Yeah, it
time
feels
is
like
that?
okay,
Now, I know these, so
all right.
I won't answer when you go.
So
and
who
then
am I
I'll do it.
pointing it toward?
Either Sheil or Marissa can guess.
okay,
You're trying
okay.
to just get as many
All right, here, let me
correct
do
as you
this.
can.
Okay, here you go.
Wait,
All
you're
right.
guessing.
I'm not guessing because I know the topics.
All right,
I
tell
will
me
do
when.
one. I will do one at the end. When
So I can't look at what he's.
correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Correct.
we
Okay.
just yell
He's
stuff?
trying to describe the thing on the note card.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
You guys have to say what it is. He's got 30 seconds to get as
Okay.
many as
Okay.
possible.
All right.
Sports guy.
Bill Simmons.
The number 2 quarterback drafted after Peyton Manning.
Ryan Leaf.
Oh, he was here today.
Very Thursday.
The Cowboys backup quarterback who Bo has the inappropriate accent for.
Ben DiNucci.
Yes. Okay. The 165-pound cornerback from Mississippi State.
Emmanuel Forbes.
Yes. I don't know who this guy is. The best band out of Philadelphia.
Mountjoy.
Yes. Big.
It's pretty quick. Yeah.
I mean,
You
I
should
feel
go.
like we killed it.
You did very well. Maybe we should go 60 seconds. But
Okay.
by the way, the person that he says he doesn't know.
I don't know.
Let me see.
Do I not know who that is?
Sheriff Joe Arpaio.
Who is that?
It's not my crowd.
That's from
so,
that's a callback. All right.
Yeah.
We'll let you go.
I
change
gotta go?
Change the first
but
one,
change
'cause
the first one because I know the first one is. Okay.
When
Let's do it.
Okay.
Best offensive lineman on the Cleveland Browns, also married to someone at this table.
Michael Dunn.
Movie that Zach refused to see. Also a toy that kids can play with. Pink.
yeah.
Barbie.
Oh, Barbie.
Yeah.
Yes. I refuse to.
School Marissa went to.
Maryland.
Something that those 2 people sitting next to you on the plane might have been doing in the bathroom.
Sex.
Yes.
Okay.
Your wife's name,
Emily.
last name.
Rickle. Berman.
What a reveal!
I think we can end the show on that.
Think about her as Emily Berman.
I didn't say the wrong person. I said her maiden name. Okay. She's still on my phone by her maiden name.
Really?
Yeah. That's.
I have Jessica in as Jessica K.
Oh,
She goes, why do you need the last initial?
Yeah. I have a maiden name. That's what it is when I met her. I haven't changed it.
Okay.
yet.
All right. Hand him over to Marissa.
Okay.
I think Marissa, like me, wants to go eat something.
No.
'Cause she just said
I
that.
love games.
Oh, I thought you said that. Man, that's a good one to end on.
Okay.
Oh, because that was
Okay.
Okay.
Ready? 3, 2, 1.
We talked about this earlier with the bidet. You're going.
Zach
to
would
the
never do this.
Zach would never do this.
Use
You're
a
going to the bathroom.
Use a bidet. You're going to the bathroom.
Stand or
Oh, sit. Sit to pee.
Yep. Oh, Michael Dunn says hi.
Kenny Pickett.
How are they?
skip that one. It's okay.
Jeez Louise. Oh man.
Extra time.
I can't get the card.
I had that
Oh
problem
my God!
yesterday.
How am I? Oh, I'm terrible. Okay. Our old producer. Your old
Kent
producer.
Garrison.
Yep.
Yes.
Leela is selling.
Girl
Naya's-
Scout
Girl Scout
cookies.
cookies.
Forecasting.
Super.
He used to be the Giants coach.
Pat Shurmur.
Our beloved draft expert.
Dan Brugler.
Nope.
Fran Duffy. No.
Oh, no.
I thought you meant hers. Yeah, where she works.
Oh, no.
We have two.
Fran, I love you, Fran. Fran, I'm so proud.
Fran, have I told you?
Both of you at the same time, too.
All right. No,
That's brutal.
Fran, just for reference, how I described you, you should think of that.
You want to know the ones that she skipped?
Yes, Bo.
Yeah.
Grouse,
Grouse.
which is okay.
Oh, yeah. The man who hired me. Yeah.
And
I expect it.
DeAndre Carter and Kamu Grugier-Hill.
Okay.
All right, I'll go.
Are you trying? Who are you trying to get fired here? is the
Nobody.
question.
It's just a
All
treat
right.
for the sickos.
This is a great game.
All right.
3, 2, 1.
All right, what I say, as always,
We love you.
Zach got this for his birthday and then gave it to the woman at the hotel.
And
Pazuki.
Cookie
Yes.
Pazuki. Yeah.
Zach's crush, except it wasn't, but Boy Meets World.
Topanga.
Topanga.
Owner of the Eagles.
Jeffrey
Jeffrey
Lurie.
Lurie.
General manager of the Eagles.
Harry
Harry
Roseman.
Roseman.
Zach already did that one. Oh, we already did these.
We did it.
It's all
All right.
leftovers.
That's success. We made
pretty
it
good,
through.
yeah.
Good game.
Okay.
I won.
These were good.
You have more?
No, I won. I said.
Oh, you won. I think Marissa won.
That was fun.
All right.
No, I think Emily Rickle won.
I gotta say, I didn't eat lunch today, and
Me
all,
too.
all I
I'm
had was
starving.
this soft pretzel. I
You
don't
didn't go
eat,
big cookie in the
I don't
meeting?
eat a lot of salty food. My mouth has been dry from this soft pretzel for like.
I mean, this is you, Mr. Seinfeld. These
These
pretzels
pretzels
are making me thirsty.
Oh my god!
Were
it's
these
brutal.
yours?
No,
Who
but
are
that's,
the- are
that's
these
full.
Julie-
That's full of sodium
wa-
as well. I'm just pounding water. So, yeah.
You had a water the whole time.
I know I've been drinking it, but yeah.
Oh, he's down bad.
Yeah. What?
I've never seen you like this. I don't understand. Yeah, your mouth was dry. You should have pounded water.
Yeah, I should have.
Okay.
All right.
Well, we live and we learn.
All right, what a treat this
You
was.
win or what
This
is it?
was fun.
You win or you learn.
Yes.
There you go.
Exactly.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.
Of course.
Thank you to Diana Russini. Thank you to Julia and Chris. Thank you to Marissa, Sheil, and Zach. We will be back tomorrow. 2 more shows tomorrow, 2 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Eastern. Tomorrow is when it starts to, the energy in here lifts up a little bit.
We weren't enough,
Yeah.
Marissa.
No, I'm
Yeah.
saying
I think
that's
the energy's pretty high.
Okay, yeah. I don't know how
Marissa's
you're gonna-
leaving tomorrow, so
Yeah.
we had to get her today.
Okay.
But yeah, we're gonna see as the week goes on. We'll see who else stops by the table. Thanks everybody for watching and listening. We will talk to you tomorrow, and as always, we love you.
We all silly like the mayor.